Alright then, so I decided to start looking at Ajanta Caves, Ellora Caves. It is one of those sites. Well, I first heard about it during the Ancient Alien series, right? Now, even to this day, I just know without even going to look into the wider community that they still believe, still putting out the information that this site, no matter how big it is, it's a big area, is this, right? That it's been shaped like a CNC machine from the top down. And people come out and say this type of thing without really considering what they're even saying, really, I think. So, I mean, just consider that for a second. What are they talking about here? Like, so this thing has been carved from the top down. So how has that happened? Yeah. So if you take a CNC machine, you have to come over the top of it, where you have to have a machine in the first place, and then you have to start shaping it from the top down. So what they're saying, that some large UFOs come over this site, yeah, and measured it out in fine detail, and then carved it away with what, some weird sound frequency, yeah, or it's just been done from thought, you know. Some guy sat in the middle of this site and just thought his way through this rock. You see, none of it makes any sense, especially when you go walking around this thing, right? And you can point out basically how it's been built. Now, there are bricked areas. I think most of it's been built with wood. I'm going to show you it here. I've spent a couple of hours trying to find a few areas out which will prove my point here. There's one area which is so glaringly obvious, and it's hard to find it now, I think, because archaeology of the area, the country, just like any country, they will go to an area, they're making that much money through archaeology, through tourism, that they're going to cover most of this stuff up, right? But every now and again, if something needs repairing, then you will see how it's really been built. Now, to me, it's pretty obvious that this got covered over with volcanic ash at some point. That's why they call it basalt, or at least if you go research it, they say that the ancients carved this site out of basalt, but yet you look at it and this is absolutely not basalt. For one thing, you can go to any part of this where they've been excavating it, right? Because they make out that they've been shaping it, from the site, from the basalt itself, but you can see that they've just been digging it out of the area. But if it was really basalt, then they would not be able to gouge huge 3-inch gouge marks in it, would they, if it were really hard basalt? The hardest stone known to man, you wouldn't be gouging it out, would you? You couldn't even leave huge gouge marks with today's digging machines, never mind back in ancient times. So it's very clear that they've been excavating this, what it's covered in, this volcanic ash that they call basalt. They're excavating it away from what was already there. And then I would say that to protect it and make it last longer, then they paint it or layer it in some type of lacquer, like a paint, spray something on it just to make it last. It will also become hard as it gets damp again, though. It will calcify, mineralize.